Hey guys, have you heard of Anchor by Spotify? If you haven't, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Everything you need, all in one place. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need, all in one. And best of all, it's totally free. How great is that? Download your Anchor app and go to anchor.fm and get started. Hey, what's up?
What's up? This is Everyone and Their Mom. Go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
And you can also listen to our podcast at Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also Anchor. We'll be talking all things co-parenting, blended families, and relationships. Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm mom.
I'm Jerrylyn. I'm stepmom.
Welcome to Everyone and Their Mom.
All right, we got it.
Yes.
We did it right that time.
I messed up the first time.
The first time, I'm pretty sure this happens.
Oh, yeah. I say, welcome to Everyone and Your Mom.
It's okay. We'll get it one day. What are we, like 8, 9 episodes in?
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, this is our 7th.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Hello. So today we're going to be talking about, well, we actually aren't talking about anything. We're talking about, what am I talking about?
All right. Well, let's get it right.
Terrible.
Today's a little different. We're going to not necessarily stay on like one topic, I guess. We're going to like jump around. We've
collected some like questions to do for you guys that you guys have asked, and we've also gotten off of like mommy groups and stuff like that about co-parenting. So let's just jump right into it. Unless you want to go on with what our name is again.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
We'll just practice. I'm kidding.
In front of the mirror. You were the man.
What is the name? What is the name? No, I'm kidding.
You were the mom. I said you were the man at first. Okay, so here we go. So our first question is, what does parallel parenting look like if the parents cannot get along?
I would like to add before we even start this also that we are by no means
we're not
any experts. This is completely off of like what we think.
Yeah, this is our opinion, and we always, we share our own experiences if we have them when it comes to questions and stories, but yeah, we're definitely not professionals on this. This is like what little bit of research that we've done and also our own personal opinions. So, as far as parallel parenting and what that entails and looks like.
Yeah, I've actually, when I read this question, I was kind of confused. I wasn't really like sure of what the actual meaning of parallel parenting was. So I obviously had to look into that a little bit. I don't know if you guys know, but just in case you don't, it's basically when the divorced parents have little communication.
Yeah.
In co-parenting situations. We really don't have like that type of thing, so I really don't know, but
I mean, I do know, I know what it feels like, because when me and Josie first like split up, we weren't really on talking terms and stuff like that. We fought really bad when it first happened. It didn't last long. Like, we're both kind of like that. Like, even when we were together, we would fight and then it just wouldn't last. It's like we can't stay mad at each other. Like, no matter what happens, we can choke each other out and it's like, okay, like we're friends again.
Right.
But so, I mean, I know that it sucks to be like that. It would be better ideally to communicate and have like, a mutual understanding and relationship with the other parent for the child. But
I know there's obviously like this question says like can't get along. Like, I understand there is some situations where you just can't get along with the other parent. Like I've
there's
seen,
one person that's just, I mean, it's got to take both of them
yeah,
at the
for
same
sure.
time.
And it's also like, it's not like I'm not saying put your differences to the side, because some things you just can't put to the side. Like it needs to be talked about. But for the kids' sake, also, like, I don't know where I'm really going with that, but
no, I get what you're saying. It makes it easier and run smoother if you can try to get along. If you can't, there's obviously, that's where parallel parenting even comes in, and how it, should be.
When I read it, I kind of thought, like, my mind obviously like went straight to like drop-offs, kind of just being dropped off at the door type thing, not speaking to the other parent.
Yeah, or even like in a parking lot where you choose to meet, and you just, hop in the car.
I feel like that's kind of rough for the kid.
Yeah, and I feel like it puts a lot of pressure on them. A lot of information is probably being passed to tell your dad, tell your mom this, kind of thing, and it puts a lot of
my only advice to pressure. This actual question is try to put your emotions to the side.
Yeah, because it's not about what you got. You guys have split up for a reason. It's not about what you have going on outside of your child anymore. It's literally just about them. As long as, the other parent is not harming the child or doing anything that could affect the child, it's just about them. Yeah, that's literally what I have to say. Yeah.
Like I say, as far as just try to put your emotions to the side and go from there.
Yeah. Connected to that question, but we decided to separate it. It was asking, like, what do you put in the parenting plan? And I am going to, like, say what we have ours as, and obviously other people are different and, could live in a different state or something like that. It's not that close, but me and Jesse live in the same school district. So the kids, what we do, and we've also made an agreement, like we're not moving anywhere without another, so that we can make sure that we can keep to our agreement. And we don't stick, to it, but it's there to fall back on. And I think that if there's any advice to give about a parenting plan, that I think that you should always have a parenting plan in line. Whether you're divorced or you've never even been married, and you're trying to co-parent with the other person, you have something that puts you in its, like, back in its spot, and it's like, okay, this is my safe zone if I need to go back here. So, like, if me definitely or Jesse weren't listening, to one another, we have something that we can go back on that's legal in paperwork. Sure. But so ours is, we do every other week. She's A week, I'm B week. And, we've said this before in prior episodes, we switch off every Sunday. And we kind of made it into like a little ritual. I don't know what to call it, but it's our Sunday time. And then every other holiday is what it's supposed to be, but we do holidays together. But I'm even weeks, or I'm even days, and she's odd. And so every time it falls, we're basically supposed to be switching it up. She gets on Christmas, I get on Thanksgiving, and then the following year we'll switch up.
Thankfully, it's not like that.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. We do it all together. And then it actually says in there that, like, so even like Christmas Eve, so like if I don't get them that Christmas, I get them Christmas Eve. And I just think that's so crazy. Like, that's how we used to do it when I was a kid. We would actually abide by what was in the agreement. Rough. Yeah. And then my dad only got us every other weekend. Sometimes, like in the summer or whatever, it was a little bit more lenient and stuff. And that's also in our agreement. It says in the summer that she gets them 1 month and I get them 1 month, but we don't do it. We keep to our A and B week.
I think if you stick with like what you did like in the past, like with the kids, like constant, like through school years, basically what I'm saying, like you do week on, week off type thing. And then you stick with that through the summer. Like, it's just easier for the kid.
Yeah. Cause
once you get to summer and you're like, okay, well, you're going to go stay here for a month.
Yeah. It throws them all off out of whack. Like, you also have to think about what you do. Like, you're being real selfish if you're thinking about like how this affects me. It's about them. Everything you do once you have a child should be and is about your child.
Yeah.
100%. And if it's not, you need to look yourself in the mirror. I'm sorry. But
I think that goes back to like just putting your emotions to the side.
Yeah. But that's our plan. And, you know, again, get one in line for, you know, future references. You're going to hit some bumps in the road. But I mean, I guess, hold on. So let me go back to that. There's more things to add in that. Make sure that you also have like vacation time and, you know, make sure everything's fair for both parents, because I know that vacation time could, you know, hit a rock in the road. Who pays for insurance? Who pays for daycare? You know, if you need to get child support in line. We don't do that. We literally do everything. Our expenses are equal. We also split things like holidays as well and birthdays. So it's like, I always think to myself too, like if you're in a marital situation and when you split up, you divorced and you divided your house, but at the same time, like I still feel like we still have to be married in a sense. Does that make sense? I'm using quotation marks. We're not married, but I'm saying like we have to be connected in a way because of the kids. That's a weird way.
I was a little lost at first, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I don't know how to like word it, but I'm just saying like you're still having to work together like how you had to work together in your marriage.
But without that
connection.
Yeah.
You lose that emotional connection, but you know, unite for your children is what I'm trying to say.
I would like to add too that in this parenting plan, like this doesn't have anything to do with you guys, but I was reading on a kind of a backstory type thing, and I seen where some people even add in there, like if you go on vacation, you have to give 60-day notice or 30-day notice. I'm pretty sure the one I read was like 60-day notice. That's kind of crazy, but I mean, if that works for you, that works for you. And there was some other things like
and then also I've seen too, like you have to sign like a written thing, and whoever gets it first or whatever, the judge, like you could take it to the judge and they have to pick or whatever, because sometimes you have to fight it out about vacation time. I couldn't imagine doing that. Ours is very verbal. We have a group chat and we just, hey, this is happening.
Usually ours is together.
And then let's make it, normally we vacation together too, but if it's not together and we have to do something separate, then we let each other know or whatever. And sometimes we even switch weeks if it falls on that, you know. But yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine having to do that. But I mean, it's there to protect you.
And even if you think it's kind of crazy to put in there, I mean, if it makes you feel better, like get that in writing.
Yeah, I saw too, and I want to bring this up because we also have in our agreement too. So like say, I mean, you guys are married, so that's different. But like if me and Patrick were to break up or whatever and I meet someone else, I can't legally show or introduce that person to my kids because it's like protecting them. You know, it's just given a time range or whatever. It's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like I also saw in there too about like who should be allowed to be around your child. It is able to be put in an agreement like that, but you both have to agree upon it. And that was our agreement, was that. But anyways, okay.
Basically anything and everything can be put in writing, whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Whatever you agree on. And if you can agree, because sometimes it goes the lawyers or, you know, you got to have a judge decide for you because y'all can't come to an agreement, and that really sucks. So if you can come to an agreement. Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah. Because your judge doesn't know your kids like you know your kids. So or any judge, you know, you're the parents. So tips on enforcing boundaries.
Breakfast. Was that where you were going with that?
What, on enforcing breakfast?
I thought you said like started another word.
Eat your breakfast.
Do it. It's the best meal of the day.
No, enforcing.
I'm actually kind of mad about this question, not gonna lie, considering there was a whole episode on this and we've lost it.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
No. So we had, obviously.
Yeah, we had a whole episode on boundaries and somehow it's lost. But yeah, I was confused where you were going with that.
No, that's all.
So
I'm really, I'm mad about it.
Yeah, same. I went to go and edit it and it was gone. So we got this one for you.
Yeah, right.
Stay tuned. We might do a whole nother episode on it again. Okay, so enforcing boundaries. Let's just give a couple.
Put your foot down. I mean, that was kind of blunt, but
yeah, no.
Make sure it's very known what you want. Though. You are the parent.
Yeah. Also, I mean, just people, you know, like mainly your grandparents or whoever is around your child. It could even be a friend or whatever. Like, you know, you have house rules. You have, you know, what you say goes, and make sure that, you know, your child knows, like, you listen to me and this is the rules. And then you need to also set those same rules for whomever, you know, that oversteps boundaries or could overstep boundaries or whatever, make it known. What else did we?
I mean, you could obviously like listen to others' opinions, like advice, however you want to word it. Listen to other people, but you are the parent and you make the decisions, and don't let someone make you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't know. Am I even saying that right? Follow it, I guess.
Yeah.
Did that make sense?
Yeah, I got what you were saying. Like, okay. You don't have to follow their advice. Like,
yeah.
You know, take bits and pieces. I mean, it's most likely from a person that's been a parent before, and which is fine. But you know, take bits and pieces of it. Write your own manual. It's not.
I mean, you learn as you go, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Especially, you know, we're younger. Like, we're growing up along with them. You know, so. I mean, not that young. I feel like I'm like I'm getting to 30, but you know.
It's pretty old.
Shut up. I don't want to be there yet. Okay, so what's our next one?
Do you think it's appropriate for kids to know why parents divorce? I think absolutely not. I take that back. I think there is a time. I think at a certain age, once they can understand.
Yeah. I think as long as you're not bad-mouthing the parent, I think it's always good to be honest. Like, with me, I want full honesty with my kids.
Yeah, for sure. Our youngest is Quinn's 4.
Yeah.
I guess I should add names in this now. Quinn's 4.
Quinn still says, you and mom divorced because you guys fight all the time.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
And I mean, obviously, I think we all kind of let her just go with it right now. Mm-hmm. Spencer knows. Spencer's more like, what is the word?
Aware. And she remembers too. Like, she remembers actual like fights. I mean, like little glimpses of the fights. And I mean, that sucks, but at least she kind of like understands that it's better this way.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think it ever really affected Quinn like that. Like, she's okay. She's really is okay.
I also remember when me and Jessica got together. I remember Spencer like saying little things here and there, like why isn't mom here type thing. So I think at first, like, it was like, not that she was like, I think she was just like kind of questioning it.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't normal.
Like, we're supposed to be living all together. Why can't we just all stay together?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's easier this way. Like, this way you have 2 different rooms. You know what I mean? Like, we both see each other. Like, we all hang out. But this way, you know, me and your mom aren't together 24/7, because when, you know, people that aren't supposed to be together and don't, you know, love each other like that, they fight.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of goes back to, I think once they start asking questions, don't lie.
Yeah.
Like, be honest with them. But there is definitely an age for it. Like, don't put that on your kid at a super young age. In the future,
I feel like, you know, my kids are going to, you know, in prior episodes, you heard that I did cheat in my marriage. And if Spencer came up to me and asked me that, I would be honest with her and tell her what happened in the gist or whatever. Not like I would use the word just cheat. She thinks, you know, I'll play around with someone on like, oh, that's my boyfriend. You didn't know. She was like, oh, Patrick's your boyfriend. You're cheating. Like, playing around. She knows the gist of what that means. And, you know, she's almost 7 years old. Like, she's very adult-like when it comes to stuff like that. But
and obviously all kids are different. So, you know, some 7-year-olds aren't going to be is
in tune with the adult like conversations.
Yeah, I was using hand motions, but obviously you guys can't see that. But yeah, you're obviously some kids aren't going to be ready for that at the same age as others.
Yeah, I was more like Spencer, and then I feel like Quinn's going to be less like involved in that. She kind of like acts her age, and Spencer at 4 years old was trying to be in adult conversation still.
Yeah,
she's very like that. But
there's a second part of that, but we kind of already answered it. At what age would be appropriate?
Whatever. That kind of just depends on.
I think that's your kid. Like,
yeah,
it really depends on your child. Like,
yeah. What do you feel like
at 7 would they understand?
Know. Yeah. Yeah. Our 7-year-old would. Some 7-year-olds won't. I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe Quinn, it's not that it doesn't mean like they're slower or whatever. It just means like they're into different things. They don't really want to hear about what you got going on.
I think if they ask questions and they're curious, tell them what they'll understand.
Yeah.
And once they get older, then you kind of go into it more.
Yeah.
I mean, they deserve to know.
I don't know why this is coming to mind or whatever, but so sex talk is getting like younger and younger.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, we're talking about this, like, gotta let you know. But anyway, so Spencer just recently asked me because of that video or something that you were watching. She said, Mom, where do babies really come from? And we used to tell them that they come from just your stomach. And then now Jerry Lynn's pregnant, so she's very curious about where this baby's about to pop out of. And
yeah, that was a weird conversation. Yeah, I didn't even know where to go with that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I kind of just told her because I was like, I don't know. Because she was like, because Quinn thinks it comes out of my belly button, which we've kind of left it at that, not gonna lie. Like, all right, it comes out of my belly button, that's fine. So she thinks she can look into my belly button and see it. We'll leave it at that. But Spencer, I was watching a video of an actual like visual of what it came out, and I didn't know she was like kind of really into
paying
it.
Attention. Yeah.
And she's like, okay, where did that come from? And I didn't want to lie because, I mean, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you need to know.
She knows about like period. You know what I mean? Like, they're girls. Like, they're gonna get one anyways. I'm not gonna lie and try to make it into something that it's not. I want you to be able to be comfortable. My whole point is like, the reason I'm even bringing this up is age appropriate or whatever. Regardless, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just not gonna sit there and be like talking gross about it. I'm just gonna be very blunt, straight to the point. This is what it's about if you have a question. But I'm not going to just, I feel like I was taught by a friend on how to use a tampon. I was taught by, I don't know if it's just me, but I read something on a post where this girl's stepdaughter started TMI a little bit, I guess, but started her period at 8 years old. I was definitely not 8 years old. I was 11, and I definitely started growing like boobs at 9.
I think of like, obviously like Spencer's the oldest, so I'm like, we have a year before this happens. Like,
yep. I got made fun of in school because I wasn't allowed to shave. I wasn't taught to shave. And I would go over to this girl's house. We would get off the bus together, and I would wait until my mom came and picked me up. But I lift my arms up, and I wasn't even aware because I didn't know. I don't pay attention to my armpits, but like I had long hair underneath my arms, and they're like, ew, like you need to shave your armpits. And she wasn't being mean to me. She was just like, girl, what do you do? She's a little bit older than me. She said, you don't know how to shave yet? And I was like, I'm not allowed. And like I was on a little cheerleading team, so I looked ridiculous, like with this long hair on my legs and my armpits, and like,
yeah, no,
it was not okay. But I don't know. I just feel like being honest with your kids and teach them things. Like that's what we're here for. We're parents. We're supposed to teach them things that the school doesn't. I also, the school lacks on teaching, like, we're going so off topic, but I think it needs to be said, and I don't know how to make an episode about this, but I think that school doesn't teach you things that we should have been taught, like credit and how to do life. And
I don't think I've really used anything that I learned in school in real life.
No,
if we're being honest.
And so that's
I don't know why that's what parenting
is for. Yeah. But okay, so moving on from that, but that I just be honest with your kids as much as you possibly can if it's age appropriate. There's no reason to lie. Spencer, again, she knows about Santa. Like she's found out, okay, you're right. Keep it, to yourself though, because your sister still believes. But okay, we went in on a tangent on something else, but
it's okay. Next. When it comes to parent-teacher conferences, how do you do them with stepmom and mom included, or are they at all?
We are all inclusive. Sometimes I call, if Jessie doesn't answer, and I call Jerry Lynn and I tell her, and then she tells Jessie with anything. But like when it comes to parent-teacher conference, it's just kind of like whoever's week it is kind of deals with that.
This is funny. This question's even brought up because I'm pretty sure last week or the week before. Was it last week? I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but
for our parent-teacher conference.
Yeah, both of the girls had parent-teachers conferences
on the same week, and it fell on y'all's week, so y'all dealt with that one.
And we were actually supposed to three-way each other, not me, but you and Jessie, and we were actually we forgot about it completely.
Yeah, y'all were out and about, like at a store.
Yeah, we were out and she got a call or whatever, but usually it would be three-wayed if it was over the phone.
Yeah, and I mean, parent-teacher conferences used to be in person, but COVID these days, it's now everything's phone related.
Yeah.
But
as far as stepmom and like mom being included, I guess that's
how close you guys are. I mean, we're different. Like we all get together and do things together, so it's like normal for us to do that. But
as far as us, like I obviously like I don't want to like do it by myself.
Yeah.
Like I would definitely prefer someone like, I mean, obviously
parent,
Jessie's being there, like type thing. But if it came down to it, then yeah, I would definitely do it.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's us, obviously.
But in a different scenario, if it's not like that, I mean, and you don't want them that close to it. But I mean, I think if the stepmom is that involved and she wants to be involved, let her be involved.
I think that definitely, like you said, definitely comes down to how close you guys are.
Yeah.
And kind of how long, I don't know, she's been around type thing.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if you've been around for a few months,
and if the kid wants her there, again, it goes back to it's for them. So, if the kid wants her there and she's not causing any, like, havoc between the family and stuff like that, then why not?
I guess ask yourself, like, is she involved in the school to even be involved in a parent or like a conference?
Yeah, like you drop the kids off and just as much as the teachers as I know and stuff like that. It just makes so even if you and I weren't close, you being involved is normal because you're involved with my child as much as you are.
Yeah.
If it was like you weren't going to drop off, Jessie was the one doing everything solely, you're working all the time, so you're not really around them much, that'd be different. But like if you're that involved, I think you should let them, especially if the kid wants them there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just up to like you type thing.
Yeah,
like how involved, like you said.
Yeah. Okay, well, I hope that answers that question because
I think that was kind of just like
we're different though, like we're closer. But okay, so is it okay to ask the child about the other parent's personal life? No. No. I mean, and if the child is coming to you and they're saying stuff or whatever, I mean, listen to them to an extent. Like, sometimes children are using it in a manipulative way because they seek or they see through what's going on or whatever. And we've said before, children are really smart. They know how to see those things. If there's like holes in relationships with the parents, they can manipulate the situation. And I feel like if you're going out of your way and you're asking questions, like,
I think that's a issue within yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, if your kid comes home and they kind of tell you type thing.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Obviously, like, be happy for them. Even if you're not.
Yeah.
Like, show that there's nothing like.
Yeah, depending. What I was saying is if it is negative, look into it or whatever. But
definitely
don't go like. Yeah, but if it is positive or whatever, just be like, okay, well, that's great. Or, whatever. It's, like the kids, for example, let's just say, so when you guys were getting married, they didn't know that we already communicated that with each other, like us, right? And so they're coming to me and they're like, Mom and Jerry Lynn are getting married. Like, it's news to me or something. And I'm just like, oh, that's great. Just, I know, like, we talk or whatever. And also I let them know, and they're now they know so much that they're just like, call them, tell them that I got this going on at school or whatever. Or can I call them off your phone or whatever? But like, I'm straying away from the subject again, but I'm just.
This question is also completely, like, we're completely different. Like, I'll text Morgan, like,
yeah, we got this
what's going on in your personal life?
Yeah. This girl wants my red on my phone.
No, she says that like that's not true. It pisses me off because I literally talk to Jessica and Morgan. Like, that's all I talk to. And Morgan doesn't have her reds on, and she's awful about replying. Like, so she's like awful about replying. And we were talking on the phone the other day, and I was like, you have good days? I was like, but other days I gotta text you, be like, hello? Are you gonna answer me? And I was like, you're the only person that doesn't have their reds on. And she's like, I don't have my reds on for anyone. And I'm just like,
nobody needs to know when I.
Once I see that little bubble pop up, she's texting back. I'm like, all right, we're good.
And then I'm terrible because I'm like, don't even watch my bubble because you're probably going to see the bubble type something out. And then another 30 minutes later, I'm going to respond because I'll forget or something distracted me and I put my phone down. So you're going to see the bubble come up a couple times before you get the whole text message.
Yeah. I can't stand you. But yeah, this is terrible. So that question's a little like, we can't really relate to that. But as far as others, like.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, again, it's just about the kids. Like, their personal life is not any of your business once you guys separate. It's really just.
Unless it's negative.
That's about. Yeah. Unless it's harming your kid. Like.
Yeah.
So my stepmom did this to me, whatever, like, okay, that needs to be addressed. Like, let me call your dad, your mom, or whatever, and talk about, this. Hey, so-and-so told me, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Communication. Go back to our episode and listen to that.
Right.
Okay, what's the next one? I got lost.
When punishing the kids, do you follow it when switching with other parent?
It kind of just depends. No, not really. Our punishments aren't, our kids are younger. When they get older and they do something and they're grounded for like a consecutive time, I think in the future that's something that we're going to like uphold. But, I was
trying to think of I know a situation. It wasn't even really serious, but Quinn like went through this phase of, I don't even remember exactly what it was, but.
You're talking about when she stomps on her tablet and stuff?
Yeah, like she has a really bad, like, she has an iPad to begin with, and this thing is bigger than her whole body. And she has did have an issue with stomping on it, like putting it in the floor and stepping. And Morgan had took it from her or whatever and said that she couldn't have it back for a week. And I went and picked her up, and you told me about it. And I'm pretty sure I kept it from her for a few days. And then we had to talk about it or whatever. But that's the only time that I could actually think of that.
Yeah, so it just kind of depends. Like, I think it's good if it is necessary. Like, just kind of, ask the question, talk to the other parent. Like, this is what I'm doing. I would appreciate it if you stick to this for this amount of time. And then talk to them about, whatever the item is or the punishment is, about getting that privilege back.
I mean, thankfully, our kids are pretty, they're good. Like,
yeah. But I feel like in the future with our teenage years, like,
for sure.
When it gets to that point, because I know that, people that are listening that have older kids than ours, the punishments and stuff they do, their actions get worse because they're learning. And
so I think at an age, then it should be switched over to the other house. I don't know. I guess we'll have to test this out. Spencer's getting a phone.
Oh my God, I know.
It terrifies me, but
which is so crazy. I think it's insane. And I was trying to talk to another parent about this. I know I already told you this story, but I was trying to talk to another parent about, isn't it crazy? Like, she's asking me for a phone and they're like kind of making fun of me, being like, she doesn't have a phone yet. And I'm like, she's not even 7 yet. I mean, by the time she gets it, it'll be Christmas and she'll be 7, but it's crazy.
She's going to give me gray hairs.
Yeah, I already got one.
I have a few. But This is stressful. Kids are. When I was 7, I had none of this. I didn't even have a tablet. Now they're walking around with tablets, a cell phone. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's really hard for me.
I had a house phone most of my teenage years.
Girl, I wasn't even allowed on a house phone. What? It's
funny.
Crazy.
So the next question is, what rules or guidelines do you use when it comes to stepchildren and discipline?
I guess this is kind of a question for me.
Yeah.
I would like to say that as for, like, if I had a kid and the step-parent was getting onto my kid, I mean, like, there's a line, and obviously we would talk about it. But as far as, like, Spencer and Quinn, we've talked about this in previous episodes, and Jessica is not the one to punish.
Yeah.
Jessica is very much the fun parent, and we have just no rules.
Yeah.
Me, I'm more of the, listen, this isn't happening, heck no.
Yeah. She was like that with us too. Like, I always had to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's working on it. Let me give her some credit there. Yeah, she is working on it.
I think there's a question too where we were going to elaborate about, like, how we've sat down and, worked on parenting stuff.
That's actually the question after this. But as far as how a step parent should discipline the kids, I think you obviously talk it over with your partner, like the actual parent, like, hey, is this okay type thing.
Yeah.
As far as me, I don't really, at this point, I don't really ask Jessica. The most that we have issues with, though, is attitudes or Quinn not listening.
Yeah.
So I kind of just, I don't know. We don't do spankings or anything like that, but
yeah. I used to, like, pop Quinn quite frequently. She doesn't get them as bad anymore, though. I've backed off of that and I deal with it differently. I'm trying to do similar, like with Spencer, like how we just talk to her. I'm just more stern because if I talk like how I talk to Spencer, she doesn't get it. She's like, she'll smile at me. And sometimes even when I do talk more stern, she still smiles at me. Oh my God, that ticks me off. She's different. Like, she just, she thinks a lot of things are funny that aren't funny.
Yeah. I'm like picturing it in my head.
I know, I'm watching you. I'm like, I know exactly what.
Smack her.
Yeah.
No, Quinn's a little hard to discipline, but as far as, like, I don't know, I send her to her room, if anything.
Yeah. And we definitely do a lot of, like, talking and, communicating and making sure that they understand, like, how something was wrong and what they're not supposed to do. And, sometimes we got to go over the rules of the house again, whatever. But I feel like that's
I guess that's how you feel, though. Like, talk it. My biggest thing is I would just talk it over with the other,
what you're, like, comfortable with.
Yeah. And I think that's also something that your partner should kind of
address themselves.
Yeah, like, hey, I don't mind that you get onto my kids type thing, but if this is what I'm comfortable with, this isn't what I'm comfortable with, come to me type thing.
Yeah, and that, like, kind of goes into our next questions. Our next question's about, like, parenting strategies and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we kind of, like, for example, the other night we, like, sat down and we didn't plan to do it. It just kind of, like, happened. And we were sitting there talking about our parenting styles, and we kind of, like, ganged up on Jessie a little bit about how she's so, like, lax and, just laid back, and she doesn't want to be the bad guy. She wants to be the fun one and who they come to and stuff like that. And I want them to be able to come to all of us, whoever is around, and be super comfortable with, their parents. And I feel like we already do have that. I feel like they are very comfortable with us. But what I mean is, just 100%, she's definitely looked at.
She's a great mom.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Great mom. But, big but, she has this mindset that they're kids and they're just kids.
Yeah.
And they're just growing. And we learn this day by day.
Like, so and I get that. That is right. That is right. But there needs to be, like, some level of teaching, because if we don't, they're going to grow up. And she, like you said, she is getting better with it. But, like, that's what I'm even saying. It's like when I say we were attacking her, what I mean is, like, you got to have our back. And she's like, no, I do. I back y'all up. But like,
that's all she does.
Yes.
It's just back us
We need
up.
you to bark sometimes too, because then we look like we're just being mean. And mom's cool. And we could go to mom and behind your back and ask you for the same snack that she just said no about.
Yeah.
For example.
I was about to say something, but I forgot. One day I was getting onto Quinn or something, and I understand that kids are like adults in some situations. Like, you know, kids are going to have bad days. Kids are going to be moody. I get it. I totally get it. But one day Quinn was giving me hell. Like, just complete hell, like acting a complete fool. And Jessica's like, she's just having a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
She's having a day? Like, I'm about to knock her out.
Me have a day.
Like, that's Jessica's mindset, though, is when it comes to that. Like, they're like adults. They're just going to have their days.
I mean, and she, in a sense, like, she really is right. Like, they have their own feeling. But, like, it's kind of like she needs to incorporate both. Like, she doesn't have, like, a middle.
Yeah, no.
And
it's either this or that.
That's the only issue, is because there's no median with it. It's just 100% like, okay, do as you please, but you know, don't break the house.
Literally.
Yeah.
And she's getting better about it, and they do know, like, I can say when she has had enough, it's like both of them are like, okay, I must have really messed up.
Yeah.
But it's very rare. Like, very rare.
Yeah.
But it does happen.
Yeah.
She's getting better is all I can say. Oh, it's a learning process.
Yeah, but I feel like, I mean, and we also, we laughed that night that we were even like, we're just picking on her, playing with her, like, you know, help us out, don't just back us up, because
that's literally all she said. She's
like, we don't want to be the bad guys.
I just back you up.
Yeah, we don't want to. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, and Patrick still uses that phrase. He's like, I'll get you, and Jesse will back me up. But yeah, I don't know. And yeah, we weren't attacking her. It was all fun, and we were just playing, but we don't want to be the bad guys 24/7. We want to be lax too.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I guess going back to the question, how do you work on shaping parenting strategies? I mean, communication's huge.
Yeah.
Like we've said in previous episodes, I think talking about it, even if you got to go to Google sometimes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Books, something.
Yeah. And and in our group chat too, like if we have to like research something and we feel something about a particular thing, we Google it and we literally send it in the group chat. And that's how we stay all on the same page, and, you know, communicate with each other. That's very helpful.
I know some group chats aren't really like necessarily ideal for others, but even if it's not, I don't know, you have to talk to get anywhere. In
life in general, like you gotta talk to your boss, you gotta talk to your friends, you gotta talk to anybody, your kids. You have to communicate. Yeah. But yeah, that's how you even would build a strategy, is to communicate and come together on an agreement. So there was a question about like ideal holidays and schedules and traditions and stuff, but we did just recently do an entire episode on holidays, the one before this, number 6. And I mean, this is the gist of our holidays. We do everything together. On Christmas, you know, we get together, we open up presents, eat and stuff like that, and we spend all Christmas together. Christmas Eve, you know, it just depends on whose house we're going to and stuff like that. This year we're going to my mom's, and doing something there. Thanksgiving, we all get together, we eat and stuff like that. But every holiday we do it together. That's how ours is. Ideally, for me, that is how I like it, is together. But, you know, and that's our tradition, is literally us all being one. But, you know, I feel like for others, it's kind of like you flip-flop on who gets who.
I don't think, like, I mean, speaking for others, because obviously, like you said, that's not how we do it. But I don't know, if you've tried something a previous year and you want to try something different, like trying to get it to work out. Like, I know some people have Christmas Eve and then the other parent gets Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I don't know, switch it up a little bit. Try half and half if it works like that. Like,
yeah.
So you're seeing them on the same day. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, like I know a lot of people do it with like their whole family or whatever. It's not just the parents or whatever. So the kids get to see that side of the family, and then the next part of the day, like they get to see the other side of the family.
Yeah, that's how we did it when I was growing up. We would go to my dad's house after we would open up presents in the morning. But we don't
do Christmas like that, but Thanksgiving, that's what we did. Like they went to your
mom's house.
Your mom's house, yeah, with
and
you.
Then
then we came back here. Like I'm in this.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we all went to we were all over here, and then we went, so me and the kids went to my mom's house before that, though.
Yeah.
And then we spent Thanksgiving together. It just kind of depends. I mean, like, again, it goes back to communication and work out with what's best for them, really. And, if you want to hear more about how we do the holidays, go back to that episode. It's actually kind of fun. But okay, so the next question. Okay, so someone reached out to me and wanted us to talk about resentment, particularly with the stepchild. So I'm assuming that the stepchild is resentful towards the step-parent because, they want their family to be together, and, they feel some sort of grief with it.
This is never fun to deal with either.
Yeah, and it's sensitive. It's someone else's child that's you weren't, there to raise. It's not your own, and you have to, be careful. But to an extent, the child can't be so hateful that, she was expressing that her son gets bullied and stuff by the stepchild because of, the anger and stuff. And that's not okay. And then it's also sad that, you feel like you have to keep doing and doing for that person.
Kind of like you're walking on eggshells around the
stepchild. Yeah, and you're kind of trying to like appease them without, breaking anything. But, and that's really hard. And it's not okay. And that kind of like blends in with another thing that we were also asked about. We've had plenty of questions and, similar experiences where the child feels like they're the boss. They're, what would we even call that? Like they're in control. And there was an actual definition for, is that how you wanted me to? So there's an actual definition for it that we were asked about, and it's called mini wife syndrome. And
I'm going to be honest with you, I was completely clueless.
The name does not uphold what you actually get, but I guess if you really look into it, it kind of is, because I mean, wife syndrome, it makes it seem like it's just a girl, a boy child could be doing this too, where they feel like they're the adult in the situation. And
it's actually, there was because I had to look into this. It was like mini wife, mini husband syndrome.
Oh, okay.
So it could be either the son or the daughter.
Yeah, but what was the exact definition for that? I don't have that pulled up. So we can explain.
That was when your partner's kids think they're running the show. That was basically the gist of the whole thing. But it's actually a little more than that.
Yeah, it goes into depth on some of it, and it's like,
and you may actually even see this in the kid and not realize it.
Yeah,
like this is just a few like
examples.
Yeah.
I
had a complete brain fart, but these are just some like few examples of what it is. But sense of entitlement,
attention seeking,
attention seeking, control seeking behavior,
and then that's when this next one's kind of weird, but like it does happen, like where they act kind of like flirty in a sense with the parent, and like, flaunting or obsessive, maybe a lot of baby talk. But I have seen it before, just kind of like to get their way. And they use it to manipulate, but it could happen, and it's strange, and it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, this is really weird to me. Like I've never seen it. I know that you have, but I've never seen this.
Yeah.
So it's really weird to me.
If you do see it, it's actually, it could be kind of uncomfortable. And, it doesn't mean that the child is like bad or anything like that. You got to understand that, they're used to them being whatever the scenario is, mom, dad, brother, sister, let's just say basic family or whatever, but they're used to that. And, when you split them up, it's, it creates things that weren't there before. And, you kind of have to be understanding, but at the same time, don't let the child walk all over you. And, we'll get to some examples on how to fix it, but it's sad and it's scary.
Expectations of being included in adult decision making is another one. And that kind of just like, that don't sit right.
Yeah. Your child should be a kid. Your child shouldn't be included in on household decisions, bills, food expenses, stuff like that.
I don't really think that's any of their business.
Yeah, they need to be a kid. And when you put them in that position or whatever, they feel obligated. They feel...
That's going to be stress on them if you like actually think about it. Like,
yeah, it's stressful to them.
Stress on your kid that doesn't even need to be there.
And it's also putting them in a position to where they feel like they are entitled to having a say in what goes on in the house. And that's another one. Like, their opinion weighs in the household. And if you don't listen to that opinion, oh my gosh, like all hell's going to break loose. And
I know one of the stories that were sent to you, like explaining a little bit of the situation, was talking about how they felt like they had to have one-on-one time.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned that already, but
like he couldn't go out with his friends, and she would get a little bit jealous about what he was doing, and she felt like he had to be home for dinner to feed her, and there's food at the house, so she should be able to do it herself. Like, she's, mind you, this person, we don't have teenagers, but we do know how that is. And this person has a teenager, and she's able to cook for them, like herself.
Yeah.
And, but there's a way in there that we can actually address, if you could find it, that is an example of, you need to schedule alone time with your partner, but also it was saying that you could suggest that, in front of the kids. So like, let's just say, for example, you're in the kitchen and, you guys are getting ready to do your day, and they're going to school and you're going to work, and you're like making a suggestion to kind of like, I can't remember, they worded it so well, but they were just saying that, you guys should spend time together. You guys should get together, talking, let's say the dad and the daughter, the bio dad and the daughter.
Right.
And you're saying you guys should spend alone time together, and you're basically like letting a guard down and letting them know that you're on their side and you want them to have alone time together. But you also need to make time to have alone time with your spouse, because that's what builds y'all's relationship and makes it stronger. And then you're also letting the child know that this is a healthy relationship. We need date night. We need alone time to be stronger for you guys. And I can't remember how it was worded in that thing, but it was really good. Another question that also was revolving around the many wives syndrome, and I feel like that needs to be addressed too. So, or no, she doesn't parent. Her other parent is a narcissist, and she's kind of picked up on some narcissist-like features, and it's parented by a narcissist. She's also picked up on narcissistic features, and she just recently, the step parent was trying to tell the father, like, she
feels a way.
Yeah, she feels uncomfortable. She feels like, her child is also, her child's being bullied, and which is, they all live together when they get together and stuff like that, and that's not okay. And then she goes to school and she disrespects teachers. She bullies kids at school. She gets in trouble. She's not remorseful and stuff like that. These are the kind of things that she's going through, and it's sad. But she recently reached out to a counselor, and the counselor even confirmed that the things she's doing is not normal. And I just wanted to say that that's great that you put her into counseling. And I think that everybody, even if you're not experiencing anything, you need to, talk about your feelings and stuff like that. And counseling is a safe place to do that. And I think that she needs to continue to be in counseling, and not just with this scenario. I hope that other listeners that hear this, if they have this going on,
put your child in counseling. It is the first step to finding out things that you need to know. And you guys do it together. I think that...
Yeah, I think doing it together and not just alone also benefits both of you.
Yeah, do it alone, but also do it together. Because, have some sessions where it is together. She needs to have her alone speaking time, teaching her that she has a safe place to speak. And then also having the parent there for support and also to say things that maybe the child isn't saying. They need to know what she's dealing with outside of here, outside of home, or outside of counseling is what I mean, and inside home and school and stuff like that.
Right. I also, obviously, like I was telling you, there's different sides to the story. Like, we really don't know.
Yeah.
But she's obviously picking up this behavior from somewhere.
Yeah.
So at some point, I don't know how to word this. Basically,
your partner needs to be on board with how you're feeling. Like they mentioned that the partner feels like, you're, I don't want to say crazy, but I can't remember the exact word, but basically the partner is not on board with how you're feeling, and it's outrageous is, I think,
that was the word, outrageous. That she was that.
And you're not
outrageous.
outrageous. The fact that you're seeing this and she's went to counseling and stuff like that and they're agreeing with you, you're not outrageous. But the partner needs to be on board with you. If you guys can calmly come to a mutual understanding, like, help me out here. Like, I'm trying to be involved. I don't want my kids to hurt like this anymore. And I need your support on this.
Once it's coming into your own kid's life, though, also, like she said that she was bullying her own child. That's where you put your foot down and be like, hey, listen, this is affecting my child at this point, not just me. Like, I need your help.
Yep. And that's not okay. And I wouldn't, and if it was the shoe was on the other foot, I would put it that way. If the shoe was on the other foot, I'd do it for you. I'd have your back.
Yeah, right. They should care about your own child just as much as...
Yeah, you can't control what's going on in the other household or whatever, but, he used to parent with this person. So he needs to speak to her, him. I'm using pronouns and I don't actually know. I don't know. I know that the girl's a girl. I'm using pronouns, but it's just, it could be girl or guy, mom or dad. And I'm just saying that the other person needs to be on board, and that person needs to speak to the other parent and communicate that what is going on and come to...
There needs to be accountability on all
parts,
spectrums of the...
But that was that. And so we're going to go into ways to kind of help prevent that.
Like I said before, I had to do a little bit of research in this because I don't really... Mini wife syndrome, that's so weird to me. But is Spencer literally just wanting control over her sister?
Yeah.
But that's literally like all we experience. So I don't know. But
yeah, she doesn't go into like all those categories. But at first, when I first read it, I was like, oh, it's kind of like Spencer. But then I really started reading it. I was like, no, that's not like Spencer. But
yeah, no.
But it's okay. Like, you just, listen to these ways and hopefully they help you.
Yeah. One that like stood out to me a little bit was spend one-on-one time together with your stepkid. And then, or this says stepkid, but it's stepkid, kid, like, I don't know.
Bio kid. Your children.
The kid. The more they get to know the real you, the harder it becomes to keep thinking of you as the villain in their story.
Villain.
What did I say? Villain?
Villain.
Cute. Anyways.
It's the nice villain in your story.
Think of you as the villain in their story. So, I don't know. Take one-on-one time with the kid.
Yeah.
Like, go out of your way to do something that you normally wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm. And again, also make sure that the bio parent and your stepchild are getting a connection time and stuff.
Don't take the bait when your stepkid tries to make everything into a competition.
Yeah.
And a majority of these kind of fall into like you basically stepping up and putting your foot down.
Yeah, and they're trying to like manipulate the situation.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm the parent. This isn't going to happen,
mm-hmm.
type thing. And you have to put your foot down, period.
Yep. Yeah, that goes.
I
into
really
the
like that
manipulation
one
thing again. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if you're experiencing this or going through this, whatever, the other parent that is allowing this needs to step up and be a parent
mm-hmm.
and not allow it.
Yep.
It's going to take some patience, a lot of patience, but with a lot of talking, and I don't know, you you suggested therapy, whatever. Like,
yeah. And I mean, it's going to be hard. Nothing like that is easy. You're having to undo things that they've learned, and
it just gets more difficult.
yeah. And we're talking teenage on this exact experience, but
Yeah, this girl was 16.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine.
Oh God. Yeah, luckily we got into this a little bit early, so there's already some like rules and understanding and stuff, and they're young. But it does suck, like when they get older and they have, they have their own thing going on and their own opinions and stuff like that. And not that they don't matter, like, and like I said before, this is a child's way of grieving.
Yeah.
It's like a loss in the family is what it feels like, divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And, but
I think at the end of the day, have patience, talk it out.
Yeah.
Talk with your partner also. I mean, maybe there's ways that you and your partner could come up with to try to fix some of these issues.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously kids don't need to be in adult conversations.
Yep.
And if your partner can't really like see the issue in that, then there's a problem.
Yep.
And that leads into something completely different. But
and then y'all need to go to counseling.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe we have a whole family counseling. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean,
whatever works.
Counseling is good. It's good for everybody. Like I said, the most healthiest person needs counseling. You always need a safe person to go to and talk to, I think. If you can afford it, go.
Yeah.
What were a couple other ways to get out of it or to prevent? I mean, I will.
Ignore jealous behavior. I mean, that kind of falls into all the other ones. All these other ones kind of fall into like literally all of them. Let your stepkids see what you and your partner value your one-on-one time together. This helps your stepkid understand that you are an important part of your partner's life too. So like both of you are equally
that went into kind of what I was saying about the time spent. So like there needs to be like romantic time between you and your partner, and there needs to be time alone with the bio parent and that parent. And then even switching up, like you spending time with the stepchild, if you can make that happen, and show their importance to you in their life too. And then also if you have your own child, like in this scenario, this person has their child, can go hang out with the bio parent, and that's their stepchild time,
right?
Step parent and stepchild time. And just basically showing importance to everybody in the family, like one-on-one time, and then also together time. Like also do family nights.
I was about to say family time is also huge. Like make it known that, like, to the child that all of you can be together.
Yeah, and have fun. And I mean, it's kind of hard. I remember I didn't always want to do game night, but sometimes I would end up having fun as a kid, and sometimes I wouldn't. But I mean, being a teenager is hormonal and emotional, and it's hard. And I had some crazy teenage years, and I know you have had some too. And it's just, from experience in my teenage years or whatever, getting together with family isn't always fun. But I mean, try, just keep trying.
I mean, even if it's not fun now, like obviously it's hard for teenagers to even do it because obviously they want to be doing something else. But at the end of the day, you do it and they see that kind of like, hey, this is normal type thing.
There could even be the kids' friends. Like I had my friends come over sometimes or whatever to make it fun. Sometimes it needs to be just family, but then sometimes have a friend over. You guys have friends over, adult friends or whatever that are, cool to have around kids and stuff like that, and get together and have fun. Or movie night, and then, having some game night and stuff like that. Just, it's good for all aspects to see and stuff like that. Togetherness.
Yeah, it benefits everyone.
Yeah.
I don't really have any more. It kind of all of them fall in together at the end of the day. Parents need to be parents, and sometimes we just need to put our foot down where we don't want to.
Yeah. But I hope that all helps and stuff like that. We loved y'all's questions and stories.
Really interesting, actually, to me.
Yeah, I mean, I love, even if I don't go through it or whatever, I love like seeing other people's situations and how like maybe we can help them, or even researching it and stuff like that. I love learning new things.
Yeah.
Especially about family, and parenting and stuff. But yeah, we really enjoyed that. So I hope you guys liked our Q&A.
Also, thank you for actually like the feedback.
Yeah.
Period. Like,
yeah,
even like taking the time to send something in or telling me a little bit about your experiences that some of those wasn't the easiest to.
Yeah, and like, they're personal and private, and it hurts to talk about, and yeah, but that was fun for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll do it again sometime. But yeah,
it was fun, different, really different.
Yeah, we do want to say that, this is our 7th episode, but we're going to end this, we're going to do a seasonal thing. We're going to take a break for a little bit. Jerry Lynn's about to have her baby, and we have holidays and stuff like that. And, we kind of like to not put you guys out of our mind, but we'd like to have some time, family time, and get our lives together and stuff like that. And we will be back for the following season with more fun things to talk about, and definitely still keep in touch with us. Send us your feedback, and we'll do another Q&A sometime. This was, again, really fun.
If there's also any suggestions on episodes and
topics
coming up, send them in.
Yeah, definitely.
We're pretty much open to anything, and even if it's kind of out of the way, here I am using these hand motions again, out of the way, whatever, send them in.
Yeah, we like out of the way topics too. It doesn't have to stay on point. But yeah, and it could be anything. It doesn't have to be just co-parenting. If you want to talk about stuff that's going on with your spouse or whatever, we're in relationships too.
Yeah.
And this is what we do. It's not just about parenting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Adults have lives as well.
But if you've listened this far, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. And we will talk to you in a couple months.
Yeah, it's going to be weird coming back.
Yeah, but we're excited. So, all right. Well,
hope everybody has an awesome Christmas.
Yeah, we're super
New
excited.
Year's, we'll be back after that. But as far as that, hope everybody has a really good holidays.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.
Have a good day.
Yeah.